Hello, hello, hello. Okay, let me try to see if I can make this bigger. Oh no. Okay. So I'm assuming that's as big as it goes. Okay. This is my first time going live from my phone because for whatever reason my computer was like not working or whatever, but Mercury retrograde it starts tomorrow, so that. Okay, so tonight is the new moon in the sign of Sagittarius. And so this is a time for you not just to set intentions, but this is a time for you to look into the ethers of your mind and see what do I want? What do I want to see in 6 months when we come to the Sagittarius full moon? Okay, what do you want to see in 2024? How do you want your life to look? Okay, and so in tonight's live, we're going to be talking an episode of Astrology After Dark. We're going to be talking about the Sagittarius new moon. Possibilities are endless, and all you got to do is just choose a possibility. Okay, and so if you are new to me, to my channel, to any of my content in social media land, my name is Katrice, and I am the Natal Chart Navigator. I am a divorce recovery specialist, and I help divorced women to uh, reinvent their lives using their natal charts. Okay. And so we're talking about the Sagittarius new moon. Okay. So Sagittarius energy, one is fire energy. It is mutable energy because it ends the season. Okay. So not next week, but in about 7 days. Yeah, in about 7, 8, 9 days, it'll be Capricorn season, which is also the start of the winter solstice, okay? Which is the start of winter. And so Sagittarius season ends the fall season, okay? So now is the time for you to set your intentions based upon what it is that you want your life to look like after, come 2024, okay? Because all of winter season is a setup. It's setting us up for the spring equinox in March, when it's the Aries season, okay, which is the start of the new astrological year, okay. So let's go ahead. Let's jump into it. So if you're brand new to any of this and you're like, how do we have a new moon? How do we have a full moon? When the sun and the moon are both in the same sign and they meet up, that's what makes the new moon. Okay, so right now, sun is in Sagittarius. And so wherever you have Sagittarius in your chart, that is the area of life that's going to be illuminated for this whole time that the sun is in the sign of Sagittarius. Okay, now that we have the moon here, the moon is our emotions. Okay, it's also our intuition. And so now is the time for you to um, dig deep and shoot for things that you really want. Okay, so for example, if you have Sagittarius in your first house is the house of self, okay? And so if you are saying that you want to really reinvent yourself, you want to become a new person, right, so to speak, then set your intentions based upon that. If it is in your second house, which is the house of money, okay, then you're going to make your intentions around your financial goals, okay. Third house is communication. It's also your siblings and your local neighborhoods. And so if you wanted to, it's also short distance travel. And so if you're wanting to make any changes within that realm, you would set intentions around that, okay, and so forth on around the wheel. Now, I was going to actually pull up the chart and go house by house. However, having technical difficulties, things just aren't wanting to work. Now, tomorrow, Mercury does station retrograde, okay, which is probably why things aren't working the way I need them to work with my computer and everything. But that's okay because the show still goes on, right? One of the things that you learn, especially after divorce, is that the show goes on. Whether you want it to or not, it continuously flows, okay? And so, you just gotta keep going on, gotta keep going on. And so now tomorrow, hopefully everything will be working fine. And on tomorrow's episode of Astrology After Dark, we're gonna dive into the Mercury retrograde. Okay, but tonight, now I don't know. What did I do? The last full moon we had was in Gemini. Okay, and that was on the 27th of last month. And so with full moons, you release, okay? And new moons, you set intentions, okay? Because it's new, it's the beginning, so that's when you plant your seeds. Full moons is when you harvest, okay? And so last month, full moon, we release things, okay? In whatever area of life, wherever you had Gemini. But I also talked about releasing things across the street in your Sagittarius house, even though the full moon was in Gemini, okay? You release things in both houses so that when the new moon comes around, you set intentions for both houses. So going back to my example, first house Gemini, first house Sagittarius is the self. You also can set intentions for your seventh house, which would be Gemini, which is the house of others, partnerships, business partnerships, romantic partnerships, okay? And also, so if it's in your second house, which is the money that you make, it's money you receive. Across the street, eighth house is the house of other people's money, okay? And there can be some intentions that you set there, okay? Third house is communication, and ninth house, which is across the street, is foreign travel, your religion, okay? They want to make some changes around that, okay? So how do we really tap into this energy, to use this energy to really navigate our lives, okay? Um, One thing about when I first got divorced and I first got into astrology, one of the things that I really focused on was bettering myself. Okay, I didn't focus on what my ex was doing. I didn't focus on who he was with. Um, it made no sense for me to focus on that because it was only keeping me stuck in a place where I did not want to be. Okay, and so a lot of times what I've seen from a lot of people online who talk about divorce or they help with divorce, recovery or whatever, is they put a focus on what the other person is doing, okay, what your ex is doing, and that's not where your focus wants to be, okay. So if, for example, uh, you pull your chart and you find out you're a Sagittarius rising, okay, and so Sagittarius rising means your first house has Sagittarius on it, okay. Then your intentions, you're setting intentions about what it is you want to see come into your life within the next 6 months. It can be yearly goals, it can be 5-year goals, but the purpose, in my opinion, okay, the purpose of setting intentions, I set them like 6 months at a time so that I can see the growth. And then when the full moon comes, I see how much that intention, how much it's grown, how much I've worked on it and it's grown. And so then I may, you know, set new intentions around the same thing or up level it, or but the whole purpose is to focus on you. Okay, focus on you and what you want to see in your life, and not so much focusing on the other person, which is why you need to um, rewrite a new story, so to speak. And so this is a perfect time for you to start rewriting your story, especially if you are a Sagittarius rising, because you can rewrite the story of your life. Okay. Um, if it's fourth house, you have Sagittarius in, then fourth house is home and family. And so you'll be setting some intentions there. If it is fifth house is your creativity, it's children, it's what I call the fun house. It's romance, it's sex, all of the fun stuff. You would set intentions there. Sixth house is your work, daily work routines, and it's also where you can see illness um, there. Seventh house, house of others, partnership, business and marriage. Eighth house is other people's money. It's also death and transformation and rebirth. Ninth house is Ninth house is religion, it's foreign travel, it's higher education. 10th house is your career, your legacy, your public persona. 11th house is your friends, your group associations, and your wishes, the house of good fortune wishes. 12th house is the house of the hidden enemies, the subconscious, the unconscious. It is the house of self undoing, right? And so wherever you have Sagittarius at in uh, your chart is where this new moon energy will be the most potent. And then right across the street where Gemini is, because that's the opposite energy, the sister energy to Sagittarius. Um, you can make intentions for that area of life as well, because we just had the Gemini new moon, full moon, I'm sorry, where we released things and moved forward. Okay. And so, um, one, what is it that you want to see in your life? Two, how do you envision? Like, you have to actually envision. Like, these are steps. So get a pen and paper. I really like to give practical tips for you to actually, when you watch my content, give you some actual action steps, not just watch the content, but actual action steps that you can take to start utilizing this information so that you can see changes within your life. Okay, so you want to pull your chart and find out where do you have Sagittarius and where do you have Gemini. Okay, then you want to figure out, okay, what is it that you want to see changed or bring into your life within those areas of life where you have Sagittarius and Gemini. Okay, and then you want to, after you figure out what you want, write all that down. Then you want to sit down, you want to envision what it would look like to have it, what it would feel like to have what it is that you actually want. Okay, and then you want to go and you want to start taking action steps towards it. Now, the one thing that I want to say about the action step part is that once you set the intention of this is what I want, the action steps come to you, right? And so obviously, you have to do something, right? And so if you set an intention, say first house Sagittarius, and you set an intention that I want to lose weight, right? Then you know that you got to take some steps in order to lose weight, right? And so the first thing that you want to do, it may not be to go to the gym. It may be to look up exercises, that you may want to do, or exactly what is it that you're trying to lose. Are you trying to lose weight all over? Are you trying to just lose weight in your stomach area? Are you only trying to tone up? Like, what is it that you are actually wanting to do? That's the first step. Like, narrow down what it is that you want to do. Just saying that you want to lose weight is pretty broad, unless you just you're just trying to lose weight all over. But if you are specifically targeting, like you want to tone up or something like that, you want to be as try to be as specific as possible. Some people say you don't need to be specific; you can just be broad. I find that when you're super broad, you get super broad results, and it most of the time isn't what you really truly want. And so you want to be specific with what it is that you actually want, right? So if you want to lose weight in your stomach area, right, you want a flat tummy like Tiana Taylor, then that's what you're setting your intention for, okay? And so then you write that down and you're like, okay, so what is it that I would need to do, to achieve that result, or how would I go about achieving that result, right? And then next, you may Google it. Okay, you may Google some things that will help you. You may Google, what foods would help you to lose weight. Is there any supplements that you could use that could help build you up so that your body is stronger and it will help you to lose the weight faster. Like before you just go into the gym doing blindly, you want to kind of, maybe do a little bit of research. That might be the thing that you need to do first. And then once you do that, then the next step will come to you. Because what I've learned about setting intentions is that when you decide that you want to do something, okay, the how always comes. You don't have to just go in and try to, I'm going to go lose weight and now I'm going to go boom, 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 bang it out, right? You don't have to do that. Get specific about what you want, and then the how comes to you. Let it flow to you, right? And then from there, as you stay in flow, more and more comes to you. And that's how you really can manifest easily, because you're constantly in flow. You're constantly allowing the steps to come to you versus trying to go out and build the steps or find the steps. You just allow it to come to you. And that's the ease and flow of manifesting, okay? And so those are the steps for manifesting, okay? For setting intentions, okay? The word manifesting is just so overused. It's so overused. But those are the steps for setting intentions, right? And so when you set your intention, after you set your intentions, then you allow the how to come to you, and it flows right. It flows in, right? Sometimes, I'm going to be honest, sometimes it may seem as if the how is not coming, but you may have missed the how, or you may not have done what was come to you to do. And so by you not doing that, it's delaying the next step to come, because everything builds upon the next. And so the one step might have came to you. You might have decided that you didn't want to do that, or you may have totally missed that was the step that you were supposed to take, and so you don't do it, and then you're wondering why it seems like nothing's happening, and it's because you haven't done the step that you should have done in order to continue to progress, okay? And so that can be frustrating, right? But as you get more and more in tune with yourself, it becomes a lot easier to just allow things to flow, okay? And I'm not gonna lie, there's still some times when I, even now, I can get, jumbled up and be like, I'm human. But then I have to reset myself and remember that, have you done this step? Okay. Have you done this? And if I haven't done that, because it came to me, and if I haven't done it, then that's holding me up from moving forward. And once I do that or get in motion of doing that, then the flow will start back up again. Okay. So that is how you set intentions. Just choose, okay? Just choose what is it that you want, okay? To see within your life, within that area of life where you have Sagittarius and Gemini, okay? And choose, write it down, Zen, get clear, let it come to you, really, envision it in your mind, envision it, feel it, know that it's yours. And that's another thing too. You have to, when you set an intention, you have to know that it's yours, okay? You have to know that what it is that you are wanting, it's yours because you're the one creating it. You're the one doing it. Like if you want to build a business, nobody's going to build the business for you. You have to be the one to build the business. And you go through the trials, you go through the, everything, the successes, the highs and the lows of building the business, but nobody's going to go through that for you. You have to go through that in order to build the business. And so if you are choosing not to go through that, then you're choosing not to build the business, right? So you have to just allow things to flow in. And you have to know that if you take this step, then the next step will come, and the next step will come, and the next step will come, okay? So it was supposed to be a lot longer because I was actually supposed to go through the chart. But technical difficulties, so I didn't get to do that. So, but tomorrow, hopefully, Mercury will be nice, and I'll be able to pull the chart, and I'll do it for Mercury retrograde. Okay. So, if you have not gotten your free copy of the framework, you definitely want to get that. It is the 3 steps to learning how to read your natal chart. Okay, it's absolutely free. So you can click the link in the description to get that. If you would like to get an energy audit with me, where I go over your big 3, sun, moon, rising, and chart ruler, and then give you practical tips on how you can start utilizing those energies in order to transform your life and become more in tune with yourself, you can book that description at my link tree. You can go there to get the ebook and to book the energy audit, okay? And so, remember, possibilities are endless. If you can see it in your mind, then you can definitely hold it in your hand. And that should make you smile because you really do create your own reality. Have a good one.